Folks, it's funny how things change when the seller becomes the buyer. I'll get into that and then the latest home prices and insights for York Region for week ending December 13th, 2023. For those of you that recently subscribed, thank you for that. If you've not yet subscribed, consider subscribing and hit the bell button. This way you're reminded when these videos come up. A while back, years ago, I helped a young couple buy their first home. They bought a townhouse in York Region. This was not their forever home, but the plan was to get into the market. They're going to live here for a while. And then down the road at some point, when it made financial sense, they were going to buy a much larger home. And so they called me not too long ago to look at their property, their townhouse that we bought years ago. Now they're ready to sell that and buy the detached property where they were going to now raise their family that they never had. They never had any kids when they moved in. Now they got a couple kids ready for something bigger. It's very exciting that I get to help families like this. When I went into their townhome that they lived in now for many years, and we're walking through it and we're, discussing what we're going to do to get the home ready. We're discussing price. And as we're going through, I'm noticing a lot of, we'll call it handyman specials, meaning there was work done to the property that probably wasn't done by a professional. It was actually quite obvious. I'll open the sink and I saw caulking around the pipe. And I said, there's normally not kind of caulking on these pipes. Did you get this professionally repaired or something? And they said, oh no, I did it myself. And he was so proud, the husband, that he said, I did it myself. And in my mind, I'm thinking it's kind of obvious that you did it yourself. But I go, it really shouldn't be, it should really be prepared or repaired professionally. He goes, yeah, that's what I thought. But at the time, money was tight and I did this. I just Googled it on YouTube and I found a way to fix it. And we've not had any problems. It's never leaked. And so we just kind of moved on and forgot about it. And as we're going through the house, I'm seeing other parts of the home where handyman special had their fingerprints all over it. And so when we discussed about price, I said, a lot of this work that you've done around the house that you did yourself, it's functional, it works, but they're not done professionally. And if we don't sort that out now ahead of time before we go on the market, it could come back to haunt us. And they thought, no problem, we'll deal with it then. We're not going to spend money on this home anymore. Let's just pick a price where it'll sell because we're focused and excited on the next purchase. That's what they told me. This was going to be more in line with their dream home where they were going to be at for many, many years and raise their kids. So, okay, so we priced it accordingly. We got their home sold and now we're shopping. We're house hunting. And wouldn't you know it, they were okay with the handyman specials in their own home and selling their home that way. But now that we're looking at properties, totally different attitude. Anything that they saw that was more of a handyman special category was a red flag. It was like, hey, this was not done professionally and this isn't right. And maybe because they did so many handyman, repairs in their own home, they were quick to spot what wasn't right in some of their own home. In the homes that we were looking at. It's so funny, human nature. I have an exciting job as a realtor. I get to work with so many different people and I see how people behave in different situations. Man, I see it all the time where the seller has one attitude towards their property, but when they're buying, totally different mindset shift. They see things totally different. It's just funny how sometimes that happens. If you feel this video can help somebody pass it along. If you get value from what we're talking about, subscribe. And if you want to speak with me about your real estate situation, up here, there's a link. And down below in the description, there's a link to my calendar. Click on that, book a time that's convenient for you, and we'll talk about whatever's on your mind. Now, let's get into the numbers. Before I get into the numbers, let me just take a moment to wish all of you happy holidays. Thanks for your support throughout the years. Have fun over the holidays and be safe. So, if you're looking around your neighborhood, maybe you're buying, maybe you're just an observer, you're seeing fewer and fewer properties available for sale. Many properties have come on the off the market, I should say. Some have expired, many have been terminated, some are selling, and there's a whole bunch of sellers on the sidelines thinking, we want to sell, but we're not coming onto the market at this time. Let me show you. Here's a quick summary. Average sold prices, Richmond Hill, Vaughan, and Markham. For detached properties, they're all pretty close. 1841 and 1885 is the spread. Average sold prices for detached properties, pretty close across the board. We're going to start off with Vaughan for week ending December 13th. 15 detached properties were sold. 3 of those were at $2 million or more. Now I know there's a whole slew of people out there saying sales are dead. Well, they're slow. There's few of them, but they're not totally zero. So 15 detached properties were sold. Sales, by 1 or 2 over the previous week coming down, but they're not really yet coming down to nothing. So 15 were sold. Again, 3 at $2 million or more. Average sold price, the previous week we were way down at 1599. Now it shot up to 1854. This is normal when the sampling of properties is so low. Certain sales can affect the overall price. But we've had a lot of the higher end type properties, the $2 million, $2.4 million properties, a lot of them have reduced their price to get the sale. And because of those higher, more expensive properties have reduced the price, sales have come in, brings up the overall average. So before you run out and think, I'm going to sell my house because it's worth so much more now, think again. You really got to analyze the price of your home in your neighborhood right now. Compared to last year, 1854 is 1% lower than where we were this time a year ago. The median price is 5% higher than where we were this time a year ago. Sales, look, only 15 sold. 7% of those, it isn't much, sold at list price or more. Overall sales, year-to-date sales from January 1st to December 13th, compared to 2023 versus 2022, we have 8% fewer sales. But compared to 2021, the banner year, the record year, we have 47% fewer sales this year versus 2021. So over the span of 2 years, activity, volume, way down, close to half, 47%. Listings, trending down. We had only 17 detached properties listed for week ending December 13th. The previous week we had 35. So if you're a buyer and you've been shopping and you started a month or 2 ago, there was lots to choose from. And for whatever reason you didn't buy, you're finding that there's less properties now for you to choose from. The amount of properties for sale, and you can see active listings, that's trending down. Fewer and fewer. So sellers are having less and less competition, other sellers to compete with. Now there are fewer buyers out there also at this time of year, but those ones that are buying, they're not seeing the abundance of listings. There's still quite a few though, but anyways, listings coming down, less competition, fewer buyers, but they have fewer homes to choose from right now. Months of inventory sitting at 4.5 months of inventory. Average days on market, 31. That's for Vaughan. Let's look at Richmond Hill. 15 detached properties were sold. 4 of those were at $2 million or more. Average sold price, $1,841,000. 1841 is 9% lower than where we were this time a year ago. The median price is the same. It's a little bit lower, but I'm rounding numbers there. That's why it says it's lower by 0%. So it's a fraction of that, but virtually where we were a year ago at 1,678,000. Of the 15 that sold, 13% sold at list price or more. Compared to last year, year-to-date sales, we have 8% fewer sales. Compared to 2021, more than half. 51% fewer sales this year versus 2021. Listings, only 16 detached properties were sold. That's way down. Active listings, way down. Months of inventory came down. 3.4 months of inventory for Richmond Hill detached properties. Markham, 14 detached properties were sold. 2 of those were at $2 million or more. Average sold price shot way up from the previous week to $1,855,000. The examples that I gave in Vaughan apply to Richmond Hill and apply to Markham regarding why prices shoot up and down the way they do. 1,855 is 8% higher than where we were this time a year ago. The median price is 15% higher. 14 were sold. Half of those sold at list price or more. Year-to-date sales, it's actually the same this year versus a year ago. Basically no percentage change. We actually have 5 more sales this year than a year ago. The comparison to 2021 is about half. 49% fewer sales in Markham this year versus 2021. Listings, 20 detached properties were listed. That's way down. Active listings also trending down. Months of inventory sitting at 3.1 for the Markham region for detached properties. Here's condos. This is for all of York region. 31 condos were sold. Not much change in sales over the last few weeks. One of those condos was at $1 million or more. Average sold price up to $697,000. Was trending down. Now for the last few weeks, that number's been climbing a little bit, but sitting at 697. 697 is 8% higher than where we were this time a year ago. The median price is 3% higher. If you look at the dotted line, the 4-week moving average, you could see that average and median price is trending down. 31 were sold, 19% sold at list price or more. Sales year to date, we're only off by 1% from last year, but we're 43% fewer sales this year versus 2021. Listings, trending down. Active listings, trending down. Months of inventory down from the previous week, now at 4.8 months of inventory. Average days on market is 32. That's for condos across York region. Here's a quick summary. Pretty much a balanced market wherever you're going to be. In many areas, you're also going to experience a buyer's market. That's just the market we're in today. Buyers seem to have more power, but also buyers have been beaten up as far as affordability, interest rates. All these play into where prices are going. And so far, overall, from the beginning of the year to now, prices have been trending down. Again, happy holidays. Thanks for watching. Have an awesome day.